What if I told you that the difference between where you are now and where you want to be financially isn't about luck, connections, or even your education? What if I told you that right now, in this moment, you're about to discover the exact habits that have created more millionaires than any investment strategy, business plan, or inheritance? You see, after studying the habits of over 1,200 self-made millionaires and billionaires, researchers discovered something fascinating. These ultra-successful individuals, regardless of their background, industry, or age, shared specific daily routines that literally rewired their brains for wealth. And today, I'm going to break down these habits one by one, showing you exactly how to implement them in your life. Before we continue, if you are wondering how I saved $20,000 in 1 year, you can access the video in the cards section. Let's start with the most powerful habit that 84% of self-made millionaires share. They wake up at least 3 hours before their workday begins. Take Elon Musk, for instance. Despite running multiple billion-dollar companies, he starts his day at 7 a.m. sharp, dedicating the first hour to handling critical emails and setting priorities. But here's what's crucial. He doesn't just wake up early, he has a specific morning power routine. This brings us to the second habit, strategic planning. Did you know that the founder of Nike, Phil Knight, spent every morning writing detailed plans for his day, not just to-do lists, but actual strategic blueprints for success? He'd break down his goals into tiny, manageable steps, which eventually led to building a $40 billion empire. This isn't just about writing down tasks, it's about creating a wealth map for your life. But here's where it gets really interesting. The third habit might actually surprise you. It's called net time, and it's something that transformed Warren Buffett from a curious investor into the Oracle of Omaha. Net time means turning idle moments into learning opportunities. While most people waste their commutes scrolling through social media, wealthy individuals turn their cars into mobile universities through audiobooks and podcasts. Buffett still spends 80% of his day reading and learning, even at his age and level of success. These aren't just random habits. They're part of a larger system that these successful individuals have developed. Think about this. Every single millionaire I studied had some form of morning reading ritual. They don't just read anything. They're strategic about their knowledge acquisition. They focus on books about business, psychology, leadership, and biographies of other successful people. While most people spend their mornings catching up on celebrity gossip, these individuals are absorbing knowledge that directly contributes to their wealth creation. But perhaps the most revolutionary habit I discovered was something I call the Millionaire Morning Reflection. This is a practice shared by titans like Ray Dalio, who spends 20 minutes every morning in quiet meditation, focusing on his financial goals and visualizing his success. The science behind this is incredible. Studies show that this type of focused visualization actually activates the same neural patterns as physical practice. You're literally training your brain for success before your day even begins. Now, you might be thinking, this all sounds great, but how do these habits actually translate into real wealth? Well, that's exactly what we're about to dive into, because these morning routines are just the foundation of what I'm about to share with you. The next set of habits I'm going to reveal are even more powerful, and they're the ones that directly impact your ability to build and maintain wealth. Because building wealth isn't just about what you do in the morning. It's about how you handle your money throughout the day. Let me introduce you to what I call the Prosperity Protocol, a set of daily financial habits that self-made millionaires practice religiously. The first element of this protocol is something that Jeff Bezos calls regret minimization. Before making any financial decision, he asks himself, will I regret this choice when I'm 80? This simple question has helped him avoid countless financial pitfalls and make billion-dollar decisions. But here's the powerful part. You can apply this same principle to your daily spending habits. Let me share something shocking. A study of 10,000 millionaires revealed that 94% of them live below their means. Take Mark Zuckerberg, who still drives a relatively modest car despite his billions. Or Warren Buffett, who still lives in the same house he bought in 1958 for $31,500. These aren't just quirky habits. They're deliberate wealth-building strategies. They understand that every dollar saved is a soldier recruited for their financial army. This brings us to the 20-20-60 rule, a powerful habit practiced by many self-made millionaires. They allocate 20% of their income to investments, 20% to savings, and live on the remaining 60%. But here's the crucial part most people miss. They maintain these percentages even as their income grows. When most people get a raise, they increase their spending. wealthy people increase their investing. Speaking of investing, let's talk about what I call the compound commitment. Ray Dalio, founder of the world's largest hedge fund, attributes his success to understanding the power of compound interest. He started investing small amounts at age 12, and by implementing a strict weekly investment habit, he built an empire. The habit isn't just about investing, it's about understanding that small, consistent actions compound over time. But perhaps the most underrated habit of millionaires is what I call profit awareness. They track every dollar like a hawk. Did you know that Richard Branson carries a notebook everywhere he goes to track expenses and ideas? This isn't about being stingy, it's about being aware. These successful individuals know exactly where their money goes, and they make their money work as hard as they do. Here's another powerful habit, the multiple streams principle. The average millionaire has 7 different sources of income. They don't rely on just their salary or one business. They systematically build additional income streams through investments, real estate, side businesses, and passive income opportunities. Sarah Blakely, the founder of Spanx, kept her day job while building her billion-dollar company on the side. She understood that diversification isn't just about investments, it's about income sources. But there's something even more fascinating about wealthy individuals that most people never notice. They practice what I call opportunity optimization. They spend their money on assets and experiences that can lead to more wealth. Instead of buying expensive clothes, they invest in conferences and networking events. Rather than purchasing luxury cars, they invest in their own skills and education. Bill Gates spends $1 million annually on personal development. That's more than most people spend on their entire lifestyle. Now, you might be wondering how these daily financial habits connect with the morning routines we discussed earlier. Well, that's exactly what makes this next set of habits so powerful, because they bridge the gap between mindset and money management. Because the real power comes from understanding how successful people think about time and relationships. What I'm about to share with you is what I call the Wealth Acceleration Framework, a set of habits that literally multiply your chances of becoming wealthy. Let's start with something that changed my perspective forever, the time millionaire mindset. Here's an incredible insight. While most people base their worth on dollars, wealthy individuals think in terms of time. Take Carlos Slim, who became one of the world's richest men by following what he calls the time compression principle. He never takes more than 15 minutes for lunch meetings, and he schedules his day in 15-minute blocks. Why? Because he understands that time is the only truly limited resource. But here's where it gets fascinating. Did you know that self-made millionaires spend an average of 2.5 hours per day on what I call relationship cultivation? Jack Ma, the founder of Alibaba, attributes much of his success to building strong relationships before he ever needed them. He visited Silicon Valley 30 times before starting his company, building connections that would later prove invaluable. This isn't networking, it's strategic relationship building. Let me introduce you to the proximity principle. Studies show that your net worth is likely to be the average of your 5 closest friends. That's why Mark Cuban deliberately sought out successful mentors in his early days. He would read the business papers, find out where successful people hung out, and put himself in those environments. This wasn't about stalking success, it was about surrounding himself with excellence. Here's another powerful habit: intentional curiosity. The most successful people are constantly asking questions and challenging assumptions. Oprah Winfrey credits much of her success to asking better questions than anyone else. She doesn't just interview people, she digs deep into understanding how successful people think and operate. This habit of curiosity leads to what I call opportunity recognition. Speaking of opportunities, let's talk about the contrarian advantage. While everyone else was buying tech stocks in the late 90s, Peter Thiel was looking for what others missed. He saw the potential in Facebook when others thought social media was just a fad. This habit of thinking differently, of questioning popular wisdom, is something every successful person shares. They don't follow the crowd, they look for what the crowd is missing. But perhaps the most transformative habit is what I call skill stacking. Instead of trying to be the best at one thing, successful people become very good at several complementary skills. Look at Elon Musk. He combined knowledge of technology, design, and business to create multiple successful companies. This isn't about being a jack of all trades, it's about strategic skill acquisition. Here's something that might shock you. Successful people actually schedule their creativity. Sarah Blakely, the founder of Spanx, drives a different route to work every day to keep her mind fresh and open to new ideas. Richard Branson takes walks in nature when he needs to solve complex problems. These aren't random choices. They're deliberate habits designed to enhance creative thinking and problem-solving abilities. The abundance mindset is another crucial habit that separates the wealthy from the rest. While most people operate from a scarcity mentality, worried about limited resources and opportunities, successful individuals see abundance everywhere. They understand that money is a renewable resource. Lose it all today, and you can make it all back tomorrow if you have the right mindset and habits. Now, you might be wondering how all these mindset habits connect with the financial practices we discussed earlier. Well, that's exactly what makes the next set of habits so revolutionary, because they show you how to bridge the gap between thinking wealthy and becoming wealthy. Because the connection between mindset and action is where real wealth is created. What I'm about to share with you is what billionaire Ray Dalio calls the principles of success, the daily practices that separate the ultra-wealthy from the merely successful. Let's dive into something revolutionary, the failure optimization habit. Did you know that Richard Branson has started over 400 companies, but you only hear about his successful ones? Here's the powerful truth. Wealthy individuals don't just accept failure, they extract value from it. They perform what I call a wealth autopsy after every setback. They ask, what worked? What didn't? What can be leveraged for future success? This brings us to the decision matrix habit practiced by Jeff Bezos. He categorizes decisions into type 1, irreversible, and type 2, reversible. For type 1 decisions, he spends up to 3 days analyzing possibilities. For type 2, he makes them quickly and moves on. But here's the game-changing part. He spends more time monitoring the results of type 2 decisions than making them. Why? Because that's where the learning happens. Now let me share something that might shock you. Successful people actually schedule their mistakes. Yes, you heard that right, huh? Sarah Blakely, now worth billions, sets aside what she calls failure time, specific periods where she deliberately pushes boundaries and takes calculated risks. This isn't about being reckless, it's about systematic innovation. The energy management principle is another crucial habit that wealthy individuals master. While most people manage their time, the ultra-successful manage their energy. Take Tony Robbins. He uses a specific breathing pattern called priming before any major decision or meeting. This isn't just meditation, it's strategic energy optimization. He understands that high-quality decisions require high-quality energy. Here's a habit that changed everything for me: the wealth ecosystem approach. Instead of just focusing on making money, successful people create environments that naturally generate wealth. Look at Mark Cuban. He doesn't just invest in companies, he creates synergies between his investments. Each business feeds into and strengthens the others. This isn't coincidence, it's intentional ecosystem building. But perhaps the most powerful habit is what I call strategic ignorance. Warren Buffett deliberately avoids certain types of investments and business opportunities. He knows that success isn't just about what you do, it's about what you deliberately choose not to do. This selective focus allows him to master his chosen areas instead of being mediocre at everything. Let me introduce you to the compound learning strategy. Bill Gates reads 50 books a year, but here's the key. He doesn't just read them, he creates what he calls knowledge maps. He connects new information with existing knowledge, creating powerful mental models that guide his decision-making. This isn't just reading. It's strategic knowledge acquisition. The leverage loop is another game-changing habit. Successful people are masters at using other people's time, money, and resources legally and ethically. Look at how Elon Musk leverages government contracts, public interest, and market dynamics to build his companies. This isn't about exploitation. It's about creating win-win situations that benefit everyone involved. Now, you might be wondering how all these advanced habits tie together into a complete system for wealth creation. Well, that's exactly what makes this final set of habits so transformative, because they show you how to integrate everything we've discussed into a practical, daily routine. Because now it's time to turn everything we've learned into immediate action. What I'm about to share with you isn't just another set of habits, it's your personal blueprint for wealth creation. And it starts with what I call the legacy mindset. Let me share something powerful that changed my perspective forever. Did you know that John D. Rockefeller, even at the height of his wealth, kept a detailed ledger of every penny he spent? But here's the crucial part. He wasn't doing it for himself. He was creating a system that would benefit generations to come. This brings us to our final set of wealth-building habits that will transform your financial future. The first is what I call systematic scaling. Look at how Howard Schultz grew Starbucks. He didn't just build a coffee shop, he created systems that could be replicated thousands of times. Every single process, from brewing coffee to training employees, was designed to scale. This isn't just about business. It's about creating systems in every area of your financial life that can grow without requiring more of your time. Here's something that might revolutionize your thinking: the wealth trigger habit. Steve Jobs used this brilliantly. He created specific environmental triggers that automatically activated wealth-building behaviors. His famous black turtleneck wasn't just a fashion choice, it was a trigger that eliminated decision fatigue and kept his mind focused on innovation. You can create your own triggers that automatically activate the habits we've discussed. But now let me share the most powerful habit of all, what I call the future self protocol. Jeff Bezos makes every major decision by imagining himself at age 80, looking back on his life. This isn't just visualization, it's strategic future planning. When you make decisions from your future wealthy self's perspective, everything changes. The momentum maximizer is another game-changing habit we haven't discussed yet. Look at how Oprah built her empire. She never waited to feel motivated. She created daily practices that generated momentum regardless of her emotions. This isn't about motivation, it's about momentum. Now let's pull everything together. Remember the morning habits we discussed? They connect directly to the relationship building practices, which feed into the decision-making frameworks, which support the wealth ecosystem development. It's all one integrated system. But here's what makes this all real. You don't need to implement everything at once. Start with one habit. Maybe it's waking up 30 minutes earlier. Maybe it's reading one business book per week. Maybe it's tracking your expenses like Rockefeller. Choose one habit and master it. The truth is, every self-made millionaire started exactly where you are right now. They didn't have special advantages or lucky breaks. What they had was the willingness to implement these habits consistently, day after day, year after year. Think about this. 5 years from now, you'll arrive somewhere. That's guaranteed. The only question is, where? Will you be in the same place, dealing with the same financial struggles, or will you be well on your way to financial freedom, implementing these millionaire habits with the same discipline as the world's most successful people? The choice is yours, but you need to make it now. Not tomorrow, not next week, but in this moment. Every second you wait is another moment of potential wealth slipping away. Remember, wealth isn't just about money. It's about freedom. Freedom to choose how you spend your time. Freedom to make an impact. Freedom to create the life you truly want. Take out your phone right now. Set a reminder for tomorrow morning, 30 minutes earlier than you usually wake up. That's your first wealth trigger. That's your first step toward joining the ranks of the financially free. When that alarm goes off, you'll have a choice. Stay comfortable and average or start your journey to extraordinary wealth. The habits are here. The blueprint is clear. The only question is, are you ready to become the person who deserves extraordinary wealth? Are you ready to join the ranks of the truly successful? Are you ready to make today the day everything changes? Subscribe and hit that notification bell, because next week's we're diving even deeper into advanced wealth building strategies that will accelerate your journey to financial freedom. Your future self is watching this moment, hoping you'll make the right choice.